like, I need you to see me in all my glory. um, I asked this lady what I did braids tse di senting se mo tlhogong, and I feel like she didn't follow the brief. I feel like these braids are so didn't see. I feel like they're dense. That's the right word that I can use. But anyway, hi guys. Let me stop complaining. Hi guys. Welcome to today's live session. Um, I'm I'm exhausted to say the least, but I promised, I promised, I promised, I promised. Therefore, I am here. Showing up is important, and show up I have. So let's just get into what we're gonna talk about today. Um, so this morning, I'm gonna be completely transparent. um, I had a conversation with my mother, and what was it? Well, I don't even remember how we got here, but she ended up saying, um, I've been looking tired, or I look tired. Um, and I was like, you know what? Just give me a second. I need to see how this conversation started. We've been at a conference, um, we're at a workshop. Sorry, we're at a workshop this week at some hotel. And last week we were at a workshop at another hotel. The week before that, there was another workshop at this same hotel. And I told my mom, hey, I'm so tired. And I previously, like earlier before that, I tell her that I had sent her a picture with one of her friends in the workshop, or with one of her friends. And I sent her a picture, and then I tell her I'm tired because we're at a hotel again. And she's like, yeah, Mehone, you look tired. You look very tired. You've been looking very tired. You lost weight too, I noticed. I recently noticed. And I'm like, yeah, thank goodness I'm at this hotel. I'm eating all that food. I'll gain it all back. And she goes, yeah, you've lost so much weight. You don't even have hips anymore, whatever, whatever. She just goes on and on. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, ma'am, it be your own. It really be your own. And for a moment there, I just, like, I had tears in my eyes because I was just like, it really be your own. I love my mother, but one thing that I know about her is that she's my grandmother's daughter, and my grandmother has quite a sharp tongue. She doesn't filter anything. She says things that are inappropriate and unkind a lot of the times. And when I was younger, I actually didn't like her. But now, as an adult, things that she says just roll off my back, and I don't pay attention. Um, so I noticed that my mother has an what's it called? I don't want to say absorbed, but yeah, I don't want to say inherited, but she yeah, let me just say inherited that trait of sometimes saying things that are unkind without realizing that I really could have phrased this better. So when she said that, for a moment there, I had tears in my eyes because I'm like, bro, this is something that I've been struggling with like for a good portion of this year. So for background, this year has been very interesting for me. Has been very interesting for me in that I made a decision to. I made various drastic, confusing decisions, and what ended up happening, or as a result of that, I, and which I only realized afterwards, is that I might have been depressed for at some point. And like I said, I only realized this afterwards when I was now cooking in my house and cleaning and humming and listening to music and enjoying myself. So I was like, guys, I was actually in a really dark place because I was sleeping and waking up and sleeping and waking up and barely eating and barely doing anything. I just couldn't, for the life of me, get myself to do anything. It was very difficult. So eventually, after a few months, I got out of that and I started to see the light again. And yeah, not I got out of that. God got me out of that. The glory does not belong to me; it belongs to Him. It was not by my own strength or my own might. He pulled me out of that, and obviously there were ramifications or whatever. The product or the result of that is that I lost weight. So um, it was something that was very difficult for me to like adjust to, because my clothes didn't fit quite like they used to. They didn't look as good as they used to. I had to even like kind of change my style. And in changing my style, I even had to go to her house and be like, give me this, give me this, give me this blazer, give me this, because I didn't even have the money to buy a whole new wardrobe. So yeah, that's basically what happened. And I was reflecting on it today, and I was like, as much as this is hurting me in this moment that this woman is saying this to me, um, as much as it's hurting me that this woman is saying this to me, I admire my strength in this moment because I can see beyond this, what I'm feeling. And I know that in a year or so, I'm going to be in a completely different space. My weight is not going to be a problem. My style is not going to be a problem. Where I live is not going to be a problem. Or anything really. My car's stressing me out so much at the moment. That is not going to be a problem. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in a how can I say, sitting down, like you are here, but you're also over there observing how you're reacting to something, and you're just sitting there so proud of yourself. Like me a couple of years ago would have had a meltdown, but I'm here and I'm sitting here positively thinking about um, how things are gonna work for me, because it's in the promises are there in the book, in the Bible, that yeah, his answers are yes and amen, and his plans are perfect. And I just I realized that I've been in a pruning season. I realized that I've been in a season where I had to be broken completely to be rebuilt all the way back up. And oh, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. And at some point, I don't even know, guys. And I still have some of these habits where I find it difficult to like. Sometimes I just don't even know what to do with myself, and I just like go and sleep. And then I'm like, girl, your head's aching. You need to wake up. And I'm like, no, I don't want to wake up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself. I still have that bad habit that I developed when I was in a very bad place, but it's not as bad as it used to be, as it was during that time. But anyway, long story short, um, I think it goes back down to what I was saying on that day, the day that I started this, that eventually you give in to the fact that it is not about your own timing. It is not about what you want. God is the one that has the perfect clock. He has a Casio, not even a Casio. He has a Tag Heuer watch with the perfect timing, and you may want things, but they are not going to work out quite like the way you want them. And I think at some point you move from the phase of being like begrudgingly, frustratingly frustrated. You move from the point of being frustrated to the point of just like giving in and just being really cool with it. Like, okay, do your thing. Take me to where you want to take me. It's cool. And I'm grateful to be at that point, because that other point where I was really frustrated about a lot of things, hey, it's yeah. But sometimes I am frustrated. I won't lie. Sometimes I'm just like, yo, life is exhausting. But yeah, nonetheless, I think there's a there's a certain level of calm and acceptance that I'm that is the title of this season. That yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm done. That's it for today's video. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I'm glad I ended up saying something I'm glad that I got to do this, even though it was very difficult for me because I'm quite tired. But thank you for watching. I will see you guys again tomorrow.